Now, I want to offer you some guidelines on how you should go about planning for your research. And so I've provided 3 more slides here that are going to cover a wide variety of different ways to think about my topic. And remember I said in one of the slides that think about your most passionate subject that you like to read, what gets you up, what gets you excited. For some of you, it might be more ministry oriented research. Again, really the topic has 2 boundaries: organization and leadership. And those are your boundaries that are going to help you solidify exactly the direction of your research and how you should go. So let's think through these. There are 10 thoughts. These are not mine, but I like to summarize them in this way and in this chart form to help you think through the methodology. Number one, there's 10 thoughts here. What approach should I use? I think this would help you to think through your methodological design. So whether you're more mathematical in your thinking, again, you're going to lean more toward the quantitative side. If you're more narrative and like stories, you like how people express themselves, of course, it seems qualitative might be the best option that you will go. So use this approach if you believe there's an objective reality can be measured. Use quantitative. Or if you believe that there are multiple possible realities that are constructed by different individuals. So depending on the population that you've selected, and again, the topic you've selected, qualitative might be the best depending on sample size. Number 2, your audience is familiar with supportive quantitative studies. They know potentially there's been a study already explored, so you might go the quantitative route. You should probably go the more qualitative if they're familiar with supportive qualitative studies, ideas, things like that, constructs that have emerged. So if you're, say, you want to study servant leadership, and you're going to go out and you're going to look at that organization and see if they use servant leadership motifs or ideas. And so you're going to explore that, and then you're going to explore that population within that organization and see if they're familiar with those types of terms or not. Again, that's the difference between quantitative or qualitative design. Number 3, your research question is confirmatory or predictive. You're not sure where it's going to go, whereas that's quantitative, and then you move toward qualitative where it's more exploratory. You're looking at, again, terms and ideas and interpretive descriptors, rich data that is going to emerge in the qualitative side. Number 4, the available literature is confirmatory or predictive. You're able to find the pieces of literature, whereas qualitative is limited. You see general statements about it, but you have to really dig and find that information and pull it apart. And this is why precedent literature is vitally important to chapter 2. Number 5, research focus covers a large breadth, whereas qualitative is designed around the interview process of doing in-depth study of the literature pieces and also the individuals representing the sample. Number 6, the time available. Now, I depending on how this person framed it, I think it depends on depending on your quantitative, it could take you months to unpack 200, 300, 400 people that you're surveying. Whereas you have 30 people in a qualitative design set, and you can get that done in a relatively short amount of time. So it just depends on your perspective on research methodology. So we'll keep that open-ended here as depends, right? It just depends on where you're heading. Number 7, your desire work with people. If you're more independent, you don't want to interact with a lot of people, then quantitative is probably more suited for you. If you are more introverted, if you're if you're highly intentional about being with people, then qualitative is the design set that you would like to use for that study. Number 7, your desire to work with people, medium and low context, high relational context. That's the thing you want to think. Number 8, your desire for structure. It's high, it's low. Your deductive reasoning, statistical, mathematic. Inductive reasoning, you're focusing on details, words that individuals use. And then lastly, as you think about your writing skills, it's technical for quantitative. It's using numeric expressions in your writing. And so you need to be good at percentages and such, and explain mathematical terms into written expressions. And then lastly, as you think about qualitative, it's focusing on literary words that people use, and the distribution of those words and phrases as they come about in the interviews. So I hope that helps you understand the framework for research and the different methodology that you could explore. Each has its own weaknesses, each has its own strengths. And I find, depending on the way you view certain these two methodology, where your strengths are, that's where you're going to go. And you're naturally more toward qualitative, then go that route because you like working with people and you like looking at people's stories and how they define things. If you're more about numbers and you're good at that, maybe go more the quantitative route, and we will encourage you to do so wherever your strengths are at. And hopefully we can help you along the way and encourage you with a certain methodology that might depend on the topic that you're exploring. Well, feel free to call me or email me or conference me. Love to connect with you on your methodology. And of course, we do have an institutional methodologist that is there to assist you and guide you along the way as well.